Spirit Dreaming became involved in this project straight after the event happened. We were all personally involved with the family as an organisation, and what we saw happening was a community coming together very, very quickly with planned events to begin their recovery and their healing process. We saw that what was being done was so culturally appropriate that it needed to be documented. So with the permission of the family, we began documenting this process from probably about day 4 or day 5. It's our hope that this educational resource is used by Aboriginal communities who are affected by a traumatic event. It is our hope that we go back to our traditional ways of how we heal and how we deal with our sorry business. And what we saw happening very early in this tragic event was that Aboriginal community went back to our grassroots. We went back to the way in which we used to heal, and we wanted to capture that as a story so that other communities might benefit from it. They may not want to do it the same way as we've done it, but there are 6 points at the end of the DVD that are really worthwhile having a look at and being flexible and playing with if something like this should happen in your community.
So hey, my name's Deidre Curry. I'm a Nundawal woman around the Tweed Heads area. This is my journey with trauma, this particular trauma. My daughter Alinta chose to take her life due to her brokenheartedness and trauma that she was in from the separation of from her son, and also being kept from her family. Alinta was beautiful, and I don't just say that because I'm her mum. She was beautiful to look at, and she had a beautiful spirit. She's greatly and sadly missed, and will be for all the days that we still have to spend here on earth without her. But I just hope that her story can be helpful to someone. If it's one person, that would make my heart glad.
So this first segment is about sharing your story, about hearing about what happened with Alinta, what it means, or just your story, yeah? When you were there, not there, what it meant to you, what's gone on, your story, or finding out about what had happened.
What happened? I don't know what happened. I didn't know. She had a beautiful day. Everything was fine, and she had a lot of trauma anyway, like leading up to that for the last few years. A lot of trauma and hard to cope, and I don't know, she just kept trying to be positive in that, but she talked a lot about killing herself. I usually call the ambulance or the police and they'd take her up to the hospital, but she was skitzing out about that, so I thought I'd run across and get Jeffrey to come and help. And then Jeffrey was trying to calm me down, so we would just move it a bit slow. And I just kept saying to me, hurry, man, we need to hurry up. And then I was calling for Yami to see if she could find her, and she said she couldn't find her, so we rushed over, and I just looked through the house, but I knew she was out the back.
And she smiled. She had a smile on her face. I thought she was still there because she was smiling at me. And then I had no breath, I realised that, and I just went as hard as I could to try to get her back until I was exhausted, and then bloody just yelled out to me mate, and he came over and he took over, and yeah.
I don't know, all I could think of after that was I didn't hold her. I didn't hug her or hold her because I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do. But even at the funeral, even now all I think about is I didn't hold her in my arms or for that last time. But I was just trying to get somebody to come and help us. Even though I already knew, like, your spirit knows, but it's your humanness because you're not going to see him anymore. I'll never be able to touch her again, or not physically, you know, or see her smile again, like, or hear her sing. Those things, you know, that I'll miss, or hear her tell me that she loves me more than all the rice in China. That's what she's always saying. I love you more than all the rice in China. Well, she'd say, I'd tell her that I loved you, and she'd say, I love you more, and I'd say, yes, you do. So I think it's like getting in that space where you're between happy and sad, because you're happy because, you know, I knew she was free from all that pain and that trauma, and she wouldn't have to put up with it anymore, but then, you know, sad because she's gone from us, and she's gone from her little boy who she loves so much, and Levi loves her so much, and that's another trauma that we have to face, you know, when he realises that she's just not going to be in his life anymore.
Dee really loved her so much. Mother can't be there every hour of the day. He done everything he could. Everything. Okay? I want for her to get better, because I know I'll get better. It's slow every day, something gets me, but yeah, it's alright. Tears, who gives a damn? I thought I'd cried about that night. And Alinta, I'll miss her. I'll miss her even though she used to give me shit. Pay out of me. I will. Every day.
It was kind of like, is this real? Is this real? Because a lot of bad things happen to DJ's family. As DJ said, it's that physical being left behind and missing her. It gets very confusing in the head when you've got a spiritual perspective and then the physical grief as well. And it's the sadness of that a beautiful, beautiful hearted being can be attacked by this cruel world.
This was one of the first times I think I've ever had to sit there and feel it. And Dad copped a call from me where I couldn't even talk. She just listened to me cry for ages. I just had so much respect for her as a young woman. She was just a brilliant girl who I just kept... We've had so many conversations around this is like a comedy of errors, what keeps happening to her in her life. No one can believe the stories when you tell the stories of what's happened to her because they don't make sense. But somehow, some way up there it does make sense. And if someone's going to kick ass, Alinta's going to do it over the other side, and she's going to create change, and she's going to make a place for us to create some change as well.
I felt like my heart just stopped. I just couldn't breathe for a second. I just was like you know, you can't believe it, you know. And straight away I thought about, I just had all these flashes, you know, flashing Levi and then Deidre, and then I had this enormous feeling about Deidre and all the pain she'd already been through, and I was just like, oh my God, what more could happen to this family?
I just feel sad and angry that I wasn't there. You know, I just have to deal with that. Yeah.
I can't believe I missed it. And went straight to a place of really deep guilt around, I can't believe I didn't see it. The grief comes and goes in waves. The anger is mainly directed at other things and systems out there. But when I'm having a quiet moment with myself, the guilt and my struggle to not buy into that is probably the hardest one.
Went through a little bit of a trauma last year. I call it little compared to what you've gone through. Mel rings up and says, you're coming up to Murbar to meet the women's group. Yeah, not a problem. Off we go. Oh my God. I met Dee. So she put my life in whatever trauma I had is called delete mode. And I think I was we're at the back of the hotel, were we not? I'm crying. She's telling me her story, what was going on. And I think I wrote you a little note. What did that note say?
I am strong.
Where is that note now?
It's on my fridge.
Yeah.
It's just on a little poster sticker, but I take it everywhere. And I look at it and read it. And it helps me. Like people say, oh, she's free and she's not in pain anymore. I said, well, that's nice for her. She's left me here, you know, on Earth, travelling through on my own without her. Like, she was like my little rock, you know, she was so special and she was just there for me. And she's still not here physically. That I just feel, I get angry at her. Because I should have went first. I've never had anyone die in my family before. So I'm like, what do you do? What the hell do you do? I mean, you hear about it and you go to other people's whatever, and you know, but when it's happening to you, you don't know, what do I do? I wanted to do things differently because Alinta was different and she wanted to do things different. It was totally against, I guess you could say, like the whole European funeral thing. And I didn't even want to call it a funeral. I called it a ceremony or a celebration. So I wanted to do it our way because that's, but everything that my family has gone through, my people have gone through, my baby girl went through with institutions and things and getting told and controlled, that's the one place they cannot tell you what to do. I got bark, Tanya made bark for her, made a bark coat, and Lara got a skin, we had kangaroo skin for her. And we all put our hands all over it with proper ochre and everything, and that was really, really special too, just painting up her casket and all the family. Heidi and my little sister-in-law Carrie Ann went to collect shells and then on the beach, and we all got together and we did the hairdresses and her anklets and things to put on her. That was real healing too. Like, so by the time I got to the day, and I just asked her for strength, and well, she actually came to me. She said, and said, you stand up there strong, Mama, and you represent me, and you just went, she goes, you'll be right, because I said, I can't do this, I can't go and do that, because other people wanted to do the eulogy and all that. I wanted to do that because that's my baby. I can talk for my daughter and tell people what she was like. That I could do that because I'd done all that ceremony and I'd done all that preparation. I'd had all that grief, that initial big grief. I had all my sisters around me, spending time and supporting me and being there with all their different gifts and their different things that they bring to me. But also just drawing on her strength as well, like, you know, just to be there and help me get through. And yeah, that was real surprising, but I got through it.
For this second part, I very much want to focus on the emotional journey for ourselves left behind. Yeah? Okay, what image is going to help me or somehow represents what's going on the inside for me around all this?
I feel tangled. I've got so much going on in my life at the moment, and just trying to sort out all the emotions and getting through everything.
This is what I feel I was doing with Alinta, and I feel upset because I feel like I got plucked out of this game, and I feel like I left Alinta sitting there, and I was taken to another game, and she was just left sitting there waiting for her teacher to come back, but didn't come back.
I got a monkey with a hand over the eye. That's the things I don't want to see and the things I'm seeing. Bad things I've seen. I think the hand down here is it's out of my hands kind of thing. I can't really do anything about it even though I feel it. It's sad. It's something I've never ever seen in my life. I've never done it before, so it'll stick with me for a while.
I just get sad at how other human beings can be to other human beings.
I'm just trying to keep the calm. Guess I'm trying not to feel.
My guilt comes from the fact that I had a beautiful, beautiful flower. It was always smiling and happy and trying to be positive, but I was so parched and dry and had nothing left in me that I didn't let her beauty into me to help me to be joyful and happy and to bloom again, no matter how hard she tried.
Yeah, trying to reach that light through the dark clouds that are all there, and trying to find a silver lining. I think it's actually more about trying to somehow have both sitting there as in one picture, where the clouds are there and that's okay, and the light source is there and that's okay too.
I think I know where I'm going. I am on the same track. That hasn't changed. There's just some detours I just have to make at the moment. And they're detours just to look after me during this, because I don't do that very well. I'm really good at looking after everyone else, but I can't do it for myself particularly well.
If you're more of a writer than an artist, like me, you might just want to grab a notebook, yeah, and just jot down a whole lot of stuff. If that's the way you operate and how you are most able to get in touch with your own feelings and what's going on the inside, then do some writing. If you're more of a drawer, you express yourself more in a connected way through drawing or painting. We've also got masks, so we can decorate a mask, you know, the face of guilt, what that looks like when it comes and sits over the top of your face, so to speak. What that feels or looks like. Do this in whichever way, you know, feels right to you.
This life, there is sorrow in this life. There's stormy seas, but we'll get there. Help each other, cross on over and take and keep. In this life, there are troubles. In this life, sometimes there's pain. Help each other, cross on over and smile again. Love and joy.
So I guess what I wanted to put on my picture is that grief for me, this process for me has been
the dark and the light. The dark of, I want to kill somebody, not literally, but I want someone to pay for what they've done. That's still very real. And not having the ability to go and do that because I want vengeance. To the light side, which is us sitting here today talking about this. I wish we were talking about something else, but knowing that we can come together, us as a group, and find a place to talk about this stuff.
I done a bit of a writing thing. It was just about my grief. It's about how I'm feeling, about the guilt factor and all that over the period, and yeah. And just how every day seems to get a little bit better, even though little things can kick me off, and yeah, and I'm just hoping. And the things that I could have done that night, I've gone through that, and I've gone through every kind of movement, everything that I've done, and hopefully come out alright. But every day I can question it still.
Since Alinta's passed over, all I've wanted to do is just be on the earth and touch the earth. I didn't wear shoes like for a couple of weeks or something. I still don't like wearing them, but I just couldn't wear shoes because I didn't want to. I just wanted to touch the earth and be on the earth.
I don't know, I'm going to try and portray something that shows that I've realised through this how strong I am. Like, it's been a real, me and Mel were talking before, it's been a real learning experience of, I had no idea I was this strong, do you know what I mean? So yeah. It's really showed me, and I feel so much more confident now to do more work and to help more than I ever have. So, which is just my biggest passion, is I just want to help.
I think I'm trying to keep the lightness and music in the light in everything. So but there's always this little darkness that creeps up behind. But there's still music.
I think grief is ultimately, you know, what you're saying, Yanni, before about how it cleanses things and it does need to come out, and you know, everything stays inside, it just wreaks havoc with you, so it does need to come out, but the process in and of itself is exhausting. So I'm not surprised we're sitting here.
I can write things down. I feel them so much. I've written diary letters over our period together, you know. I find that easier than texting. I find it easier than talking than anything. I can get it out. I can visualise it. Yeah. So that little bit over there helped me in a big way. So I haven't written anything down about it. I haven't done anything like that. That's a really good thing, yeah.
I really don't know what to do to help myself. I try to relax more though. You know, Alinta was always trying to teach me that not to stress out all the time. Just relax, and you know, you don't have to do anything, and just do what you want. And so I try to do that now. I just try to relax more, and you know, not be pushed into things that I don't want to do, or to learn to say no, or if I want to just stay inside. Well, it's kind of learning that I'm actually in charge of my own life and I can do whatever I want, like even when I want. So it's teaching me that, and it's taught me that more, that yeah, I am in charge of my own life, and if I don't want to do something, I don't have to, and I can stand up for myself. Or you know, I don't have to live as society keeps saying that we have to live, and that's forced us to live, you know, ever since we've come on to this earth. Like, I don't have to do any of that if I don't want to, and whether they agree with it or think, I don't have to care about that. You live your life the way you want, and let me live my life the way I want, you know.
Those sisterhood gatherings are really important. And again, music, you know, music and dance has always been my medicine. I haven't been able to dance that much lately, but still I put the music on, and it kind of instantly lifts me up to a heavenly place. It's amazing medicine, the right kind of music,
And mowing. That sounds really ordinary. Mowing. Yeah, can I have one too, Lynn?
Gardening does help.
Absolutely. So I actually watch the lawn growing so I can get on the lawnmower. I love it. So that's how I look after myself.
Yeah, I find my mind won't let me go to that sad side. I feel like I just can't reach it. That's what I was going to do in my picture. I was sort of I was saying to Mel, I just wanted to do a blank face, but with this anger and upset over here that I can't get to.
Sometimes people get really scared that if you actually let yourself feel it, that you're going to drown in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's in the anger or in the sadness or in the fear. So it's almost this thing that goes, I can't go there, because once I go there, the floodgates will open and I won't be able to control what's happening anymore. This is all within like half a second.
Yeah.
So you kind of just, push it back down. I know that a lot of times people don't allow themselves, to feel for those reasons. Connect to the protecting animal that you got in touch with yesterday and just ask it for strength and protection.
I know everyone wants to say something, but I really would prefer that they didn't say anything, because there are no words that you could ever possibly say that would make you feel better about what just happened. Like, that would have made me feel better about what just happened with my daughter. And most people did just come and sit with me and just stay, for a while, and would just sit and they'd talk, or I'd just have my eyes closed and be resting, and they'd just be sitting there. And I think that's a lot more helpful than people trying to give you words or tell you that everything's going to be all right. And no, it's not. Your child just committed suicide. I think when you're in deep grief, that would probably work for most people, that people just come and sit with you. And you just know they're there. You don't need to talk. But you just want to know that there's people around you and that you're safe and that you're not alone. And if you do need to say, or if you need a cuddle or something, or just to hold someone's hand, that there's someone there to do that.
In my experience, it is people's own anxiety that they want to make it feel better, that gives them that. So the intentions are right, but it's really unhelpful at best.
I think it's better to tell people what you want or what you need, just nicely, but you're thankful and that for, but could you just, they do this for you now, but because it isn't always helpful when they're trying to make you feel better, and I know that's their way. Everyone just pitched in. They came for the first 2 or 3 weeks. People brought food for us. We didn't have to cook or do anything. Everyone was dropping off food and meals and just coming and sitting and being there, and it was amazing. And the young ones, they made all these beautiful booklets, and they came in the slideshow, and just everything. Got balloons, and because she passed over before her 21st birthday, so got balloons and that. So we had a little celebration like for her birthday, and sent the balloons up, and then they had everything, the hall, the church done up really beautiful. All life on earth is love and family. There's nothing else. When everything's gone, all that will remain is love. The earth was created by love, for love, and it exists on love. There's nothing else. All our kids are dying. They're people and I really know that's why she left, is so community and people would start to treat each other better, tell each other that we love each other and we care about you. It doesn't matter what you're doing or not doing. So what if you don't have a job? So what if you're not perfect or you're not doing? But if you are doing something, good on you.
Something magic happens when we have those gatherings in a community thing. This beautiful bubble happens, and people sort of sit and talk, and something changes in our being. Without having to say anything, when we have those gatherings, it's like the community spirit
family spirit comes into us straight away, and we all start being better people. We start relaxing, we start laughing, and I know with young people, when they're this big, family's enough, but as soon as they hit teenagers, they need to be acknowledged by community. They've got to be part of a community, and that's what Alinta wanted so much.
I'm pretty in a happy mood today after yesterday. And that's the community we done here. I woke up this morning going, oh, this is the best day I've had for a while, you know. No drama, so. But what happened yesterday with the community backup and all that, it was just so, I'm too scared to kind of, I've been hanging here going, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to go back a month. So I think yesterday I just went forward so far. Just listening to you girls, you know. You just help yourselves and support each other.
With this grief and this loss that we've all experienced in different degrees here over these past months, we're role modelling, each one of us here is role modelling really great behaviour to those, not only our families and children, to people around us. Then we have extended groups, like Nick is very much part of all of this. We have Jeffrey sitting now coming in onto our women's business as such, but us opening our arms to say, this isn't women's business, this is our business. This belongs to all of us. Healing and grief belongs to all of us, not just women on this occasion.
Yeah.
We need to have these places and spaces and barbecues, whatever it is, just spaces where you're quiet, you're calm. People, you've created that, like what we do, this is what we're going to do today. So people know that you're actually going to sit, you're going to listen, we're going to talk, or someone's going to say something, we're going to tell you what we think about you, and people are prepared for that. Oh, this is what I'm here for, so I'm going to sit and I'm going to take it in. And then all you can do after that is just pray and hope and keep feeding that seed that you planted is going to continue to be watered, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow. Well, obviously I haven't been that good, because the first couple of months just very surreal and like it hasn't happened. And so, and you know, you're organising helping other family members. I've still got other children that I have to care for, a little grandson, and so it doesn't kind of sink into like the third or fourth month, and then it just like hits you, the reality of it. I was still not in even the reality, because it's a very strange space for me, because even though my daughter's gone physically, she's still here. And she's always with me, so it's really weird space. And people ask me, like, if I go places, people that don't know me, like, oh, how many kids have you got? Or when that question comes up, I'm kind of like, oh, well, I did have 4. Like, what do you say? Like, I don't know how you answer that question. Yeah, I guess it's just going to be really hard, because it hasn't even really begun the journey, like when her birthday comes around, or as Levi grows, or his birthdays. We've already been through one of his birthdays. It was very, very painful because she wasn't there. And I have learnt a lot, or things that I already knew. It's really come home to me since she passed over. And even the stuff that I contributed, well, and she thought that I contributed part of her pain, like, and the things that happen, and I'm willing to take responsibility of that, because I know what I do and I'm not above discipline. So I try to practice that stuff so I don't make the same mistakes. Like all the arguing and the trauma and the things that we say or we do, I can't deal with any of that kind of stuff anymore. I don't like it around me, because I've seen what it does. So, you know, I prefer that people trying to talk about their stuff openly and try and come to a compromise or work things out, or be kinder to each other. Think before you say and do things. It's made me stronger, and it's made me less afraid and to talk up or to express my opinion, because nobody can take anything from me that hasn't been taken from me. I mean, they can't do anything to me worse than the loss of her. So yeah, I'm not frightened anymore. She gave me that, you know. she gave me that strength, and she still gives me that strength, that to stand up for what you believe in and just, you know, express yourself. And because if you don't, no one's ever going to know, and people just continue to get away with stuff. And I think mainly for me, the biggest thing is to come as a community. Like, we're on our own. So, you know, we need to come together when anyone's in any crisis in anywhere or any situation, and stand together and support together and help. And, you know, maybe if that had been more, I know if it was more of that, she'd probably still be here today. And I don't know, people always say time, you know, it heals and that, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe you just get to handle things a bit better. You don't get so affected, but I don't think you could ever say to anyone, least of all the mother who loses a child, that time will take all that away and you'll never, you know. So I don't think that is ever going to happen. So I have a lot of people, I know they're trying to help when they talk to me and that, but and you know, say that they understand this. I'm like, oh no, you can't ever possibly understand. Doesn't matter, even if you're walking through it with me, you can't ever have the same thoughts and feelings that I have, because it was my child, and you're never going to know unless you actually ever experience that.
It's kind of given me a passion with I've always had a passion with the youth, but it's kind of like you talk from a different place when you've had someone close take their life because they felt so lost and unsupported. So any youth that comes my way, I let them know I love them, and I really want to listen to them. I really value them. It's a really simple thing. It's just that open-heartedness and to embrace who they are. And boom, they're so hungry for that, for a safe space to just be themselves and let themselves blossom. And as Deja said, it's about making her death for a bloody good reason. You know, she chose, and you know, it's up to the ones that are left behind to use her death to its best possibility. And then that's how we honour her. That's how we honour her.
So I feel like I'm working really hard, and I don't often know if it's making any difference, if there's any point to it. And yet I can't live with myself not doing that either. So I'm constantly oscillating between trying to process, trying to put it to good use, trying to connect with her and asking her if this is actually, you know, my version of what she wants and what I can do for her. And sometimes she's supportive and sometimes she's very quiet. So it's
true.
Come on, woman!
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And checking that back in with myself, and sometimes I kind of go into what you described, Mel, and go, you know what, I don't think I can afford to care as much as I always have been. I need to pull back and come back to myself and what's important to me. And so I'm kind of all over the place, really.
Avoidance is really great. It's really easy. And I'm in the same place where I'm looking at my kids and wondering, how do I get them through to a place where they can be the best people that they can be? How do I get them to know that they can talk? If they can't talk to me, there's somebody they can talk to. How do I work out what's the best thing for my daughter, and is that the same thing for my son? How do I work out how to recognise the signs that they sometimes can give but not often do, that there's things happening for them? It's been a real mishmash of all sorts of emotions going on. I've had really good days. I've had really, really bad days.
You know, just talking about it in a group of friends, and someone talks about these kids who just suicide, and you just want to go and kill them because they don't freaking understand. Do they know what that's about? You know, all the trouble they cause for their parents and stuff like that is a comment that I heard. And it was unfortunate because it was from a really nice person who's actually coming from a space of the poor parents, what they have to then go through. And I got that. I understood that part. But part of me was also going, but you don't know it, you haven't been through it. And I've been through it being Alinta's friend and your friend. As sisters, I've been through it, but I don't know what it's like to be a mother to go through it. So even I can't sit here saying I understand what it's like for you, Deirdre, because I don't. And I think that's what I've learned from it. What's important is my children and my husband. Everybody else has a role and they are important. And I love all you guys, you know that so much.
No, but not like your family.
But not like my girls.
Yeah.
And my husband. So now you just have to think about you. You just have to think about what's best for your children, your family, and the rest can come in after that. If Alinta hadn't taught me that having my own moments where I didn't know what was going to happen with me gave me perspective about what's important.
Yeah. Can I say something? I think that's the biggest lesson that she's taught each of us.
Yeah.
Is what's important. And I just the other day was going through it. As much as I would still wanted to be here, but I was thinking, if you were still here, Baba, would we have learnt those lessons? Or would we still be doing the same stuff that we're doing and listening to the same stuff, believing the same stuff? Or, and I really believe that we would be. Just one last thing, just should add that it was my personal privilege to be the mother of Alinta. And I have learnt a lot from her when she was here and in her passing, and a lot of others have learnt so much, and so much has changed in people's lives since she passed over. It's amazing. So I'd like to thank her for choosing me when she came down. And even though I only had her for 20 years, it was 20 years, and it was 20 beautiful years. So, yeah. My garden is wilting, parched from thirst. One of my flowers has returned to earth. Filling the universe, eyes that see, pour out water and wisdom to revive me. My garden returned to vitality.